Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing some square to square transition with offset. We'll be working with 3x3 transitioning to a 6x6, and by the time we get done we'll be producing these patterns right here. Alright, let's get to it. Okay, let's start off by making a 90 degree so we can make our 6x6 square. One, two, three, four, five, six. Put a sharp point where the vertical and horizontal lines meet on your 90 degree. Open up your pencil point to the 6-inch mark. We're going to lock it in place. Swing it over, strike an arc. Sharp point here now. Do a slight arc there, put your sharp point here now, swing it over, and crisscross that arc. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and do the 3x3 square right here with an offset. So that's 3 inches. Now we're going to go 3 inches this way, horizontally. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So there's our 6x6, and inside of it will be the 3x3. Okay, let's go ahead and do our true length triangle. And that true length triangle will give us, or will put 4 inches in height. Okay, so we said 4 inches, so we'll start from where the vertical and horizontal lines meet on our true length triangle, and then go up 4 inches. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And that is going to be our 4-inch height. Alright, next. So let me just show you guys really quick. So what we drew right here is a representation of this. So if you see right here, here's your 6x6, which is right here, and then your 3x3 square is going to be right here, 3x3. So you're basically looking down on this image right here. Okay, so our objective right now is to try to get these 2 points on the 6x6 square to now meet right here on these points on the 3x3 square. So that's what you're going to do here. If you look, you have this point, which is right here. We're going to try to get the distance from here all the way up to this point here. And the same thing applies to this side, up to this corner. And then the same thing applies to this corner here, up to this corner here on the 3x3. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that by labeling these with letters. So we'll label this corner as A, B, C, and D. Okay, Do the same thing on the 3x3 square. Label it as A, B, C, and D. So let me just put this as a sample, or as an example. So if you notice, we have our A, B corners, C corners right here, and D corners, which are here. Alright, so now let's go ahead and get our lengths from these 2 points, from A to A and B to B. If you look, A to A is the same thing as D to D, and the same thing from B to B to C to C. So let's go ahead and do A to A. Sharp point on A. Open up your pencil point to the other A, the 3x3, and these should hopefully match. Okay, put sharp point on your true length triangle, and then strike an arc. Okay, now you're gonna label this as A to A and D to D. A to A and D to D. So that's what it's telling you. This point right here, from here to here, is these 2 distances for that. Okay, let's do the same thing from B to B or C to C. So get your compass. In this case, I'm going to start on B. Open up my pencil point to the other B. I'm going to lock it in place like so. See that? This should match right here. See that? Okay, put your sharp point on your true length triangle. Swing it over. Strike an arc. And this one, you're going to call it B to B or C to C. So that's what that is. Okay, here we go. So the next step is, now we got all the information that we have here onto the true length triangle. Now we can go ahead and start striking arcs so we can get the layout going. Okay, so if you looked at other videos, there's always a starting point. So in this case, my starting point is going to be these corners right here. You can make your starting points from here, going opposite ways, but that would make sense if you looked at the other previous videos where I made square to squares. But just to get this going, I'm going to make my starting points A and D. So here's what I mean. Put your sharp point on A or D to D. I'm going to open up my pencil point to the 4-inch height mark. I'm going to lock it in place, so if you can see that. Okay, I'm going to put my sharp point right here on D. And I'm going to strike this pencil point right here on the 3-inch. So I'm going to put it like this. Do the same thing here. And I'm going to strike an arc right here. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and get a shape going. So we're going to join these 2 lines together. Okay. And then I said these are the starting points. So I want to go like this and like that. Okay, so if everything was done correctly, this was made. Okay, and this is the bottom portion of this. So let me show you. This goes right here. So if you see, our starting points were here, and we knew that we wanted to reach, you know, to the 1.5 inches inward on both sides to reach a 3-inch mark right here. And so that's what we did. So that goes right here. Okay, so now that we did this part, let's go ahead and do the top portion right here. Okay, so since we already did this here, starting from A to D, let's go ahead and start our starting points from B to C, going down this way. So go ahead and put your sharp point on your true length triangle B to B or C to C. Open up your pencil point to the 4-inch height mark. I'm going to lock it in place like so. Hopefully you guys can see that. Okay, now I'm going to put my sharp point on C. And the same thing, I'm going to swing it down. And I'm going to strike an arc right here along this line. Because that's where the 3x3 square is. Sharp point on B side now. Swing it down. And we're going to strike an arc. And that should be the top portion right here. So let's go ahead and get a shape going. And then we're going to go from here to here. Okay. So if everything was done correctly, we should have made this right here. So let me show you really quick. And there it is. Pretty close. Okay, and this is the top portion, which goes here. Easy, right? Okay, now let's do the last one. So now the last one is going to be our side. So we already did the bottom, which is here. We did the top, which is here. Now we want to do the sides. So if you look, the sides are exactly the same. See that? Because we did an offset to one side, so it'll change only the bottom, the top, but the sides don't change. They're exactly the same. So we're going to do the same thing. If you look at it this way, we're going to go ahead and do the same thing how we did the starting points here on the bottom and the top. Let's go ahead and do the starting points here, right here, instead, going this way and going across like that. So that's what we're going to do. Alright, so let me show you really quick. So again, get your true length triangle, or your compass rather, and you can start on either C to C or D to D. So I want to go ahead and start from D to D. So D to D, let's just put this here so that it makes sense. Let me put it at an angle so that it'll make sense. Hopefully that'll work. I'll put it right here. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and make our starting points from D to D. So from D to D, put my sharp point on D to D, open up my pencil point to the 4-inch height mark. I'm going to lock it in place like so. Okay, hopefully you guys can see that. Okay, put my sharp point on our starting points D, and I'm just going to swing across and strike an arc. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'll blow that up on the camera really quick. Okay, so now that we got this point, now we reach from D to D, which is right here. Now let's go ahead and do C to C. So here's C, and the other C is gonna land somewhere around here. So it's gonna go vertically even to this arc. So we're gonna put our sharp point on C to C on your true length triangle. Open up your pencil point to the 4-inch height mark. I'm gonna lock it in place. Okay. Put your sharp point on your starting point C, which is here, and then swing it down to this horizontal line, which is on the 3-inch. And now you found your other C. I know I'm verbally saying it, but let's go ahead and draw it out so we can get a shape going. These are actually fun to do. They're easy. The more you practice doing these, they'll become easy to make. Okay, so I don't know if you guys can see through my mess, but what we've just made now is this right here. So if everything is made correctly, it should match. So here's our starting points, and it should end right here and right here. See that? And that goes right here. See how it matches? And it's the same thing for the other side. Pretty neat, right? Okay, so that's pretty much it. If you guys want to stop on this video, you're more than welcome to. But I'm going to go ahead and throw a bonus so that you guys can see what other shapes you can add on to this existing layout. So here's what I mean. I'm going to go ahead and add a 1-inch extension on both ends. So 1-inch extension this way and 1-inch extension this way. So watch, just follow along and it'll make sense. So what I'm gonna do, and hopefully you guys can see through this mess again. So let's start off on this side right here. Let me put this so that it'll make sense. So I'm gonna go ahead and add an extension this way right here. So I'm gonna add 1 inch. So right here, I'm gonna add an inch here, and then go on this arc, then go 1 inch. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Okay, so if you guys can see, I added 1 inch going this way. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add another inch going on the other end on the 6x6. So I know that I already got a nice horizontal line right here, so I'm just gonna go and utilize this to my advantage and add an inch right there. So I just added an inch this way. Now I'm going to add an inch on this side as well. So let me go ahead and extend this horizontal line. Okay, now I'm going to add another inch going this way. Okay, so let's go ahead and get a line going. Alright, so check this out. So what we just made is this right here. See that? So I'm gonna go put it right there, and just so that it makes sense, I'll put this on top of it. Okay, trust me, this will be pretty cool. Okay, let's go ahead and finish off. We got 2 more to do. So let's go ahead and add now an extension on this piece right here. So we're gonna go 1 inch this way and 1 inch down. So since we already got a horizontal or vertical line, I mean right here, on this point I'm gonna go inch or 1 inch up. Do the same thing on this side, go 1 inch up, just so you guys can see. So when I went 1 inch up. Okay, now I want to go ahead and go 1 inch down. So let me see, let me get this out of the way first, and I'll put that layout back so that it makes sense from your camera view. Okay, so we're back at this. So we just added a 1 inch here, 1 inch there. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and add an inch here. Boom. Add an inch on this side. Oops, I think I need a little bit more. Just add it. Okay, so there is that. And I wasn't kidding about the messy lines like on the previous videos of square to square transitions. So there you go. This is going to be my mess. Okay, let's go ahead and add this to it. Okay, let me put this back so that'll be easier you guys' eyes. Okay, so this piece now is this one. Yes, so there it is. So that's what we did. So we added an inch on one end, on the 3 inch, and added an inch extra on the 6 inch side. So from this to this. Okay, we're almost done. We got one more. Let's go ahead and do the other end, or the top. So we just did the side, the bottom. Let's go ahead and do the top right here. So let me put this back on so it'll be easy, you guys can see. Okay, so let's go ahead and add an inch down. And it looks like that's already an inch. Okay, cool. So this is already an inch, so we'll just leave it like that. So now we just add an inch on the 6 inch this way and that way. So let me go ahead and extend this vertical line further up. Okay, let me put this back so you guys can see what we're doing. Okay, so we're gonna add an inch now on the top right here. Add an inch. There you go. Okay, so that is, let me look for that piece right here. So that would go right, let me see, like so. Pretty close. And it came from this shape. So you see that? So what does this do? Well, it makes this shape. It makes it from this to this. See that? So what I'm trying to show is that you can, once you're done doing your layout on some square to square transitions, you can add extensions to them and turn them into other shapes. So if you think about it, like say for instance you have some water coming from the the roof of your house and you wanted to catch it, you can kind of catch it this way, having it fall down this way, and then route it onto a more concentrated, smaller hole on this side. This also, if you'll think about it, it actually looks kind of like a range, like on top of an oven. So say your oven's right here, if you're looking at it, and all the smoke is coming out. So this is a lesson on how to make one of those. This will be nice and flat up against the wall, and your oven's right here. And yeah, that's pretty much it. What do you guys think? Pretty fun, right? Alright, so let me just show you guys really quick. That took these shapes right here. So that's what that was. We did the sides, we did the tops, and we did the bottoms that went here. So this goes right here, and then this was the top. This gets bent this way, and then it gets bent on the opposite end this way. See that? And then this obviously are your sides. So these go like so, and it gets bent this way, and then gets bent on the opposite end. So this, you just need to duplicate it once to go on both sides. Pretty neat. Alright, so that's it. Hope you guys got value out of this video. And if you did, and you feel like someone can use this and use it at work, let's go ahead and share it and get more people to start learning how to do this stuff. Alright, have a good day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.